Hello and welcome back to the Google APIs for Rust and YouTube uploader development stream. This is Byron speaking, and in fact that issue here is the last one that's separating me from from the end of my day. That sounds so catastrophic. No, from my pho soup that I will have as dinner today. I'm looking forward to it. It will be hot, it will be spicy, and it's gonna burn the last pieces of my illness that I had during the weekend out of my body. That's the plan. So all that's left to be done here is global parameter list and matching code should be feed from static globals. Okay, the problem is actually that's a solution here which doesn't even work. The problem is global parameter code should be shared somehow. And that's it. And what this means is that here in a very simple Let's Discovery API, kind of the dominant portion of the code that handles these simple ones is always repeated. It's always the same global parameters here and the same handling. Whereas this stuff, this is basically the fall through that we want to have, but we don't want to have it that verbosely. Sure, this is many lines here that compile down to probably some very efficient thing, but it's complex and also lots of data that is repeated here. All these words are not shared. Also here, when there's the error case, we repeat all the words again in a custom vector, and probably there can be done some optimization. But it takes time and there's no need for that. So let's deduplicate it and reduce the amount of code. Greatest example, DFA reporting main. Takes even a long time to switch to it. See this? 30k lines just for the CLI. I think 45k for the library. So we are really close to being like 66% of the library just to have the command line interface. And if you look at this, here you see that yeah, there's lots of request structures too, which need some love here. But I can't possibly make this better. This code is needed. There's lots of initialization code, and all this stuff is shared in functions here, which are here, but it needs to be there. So let's look up further. So here, probably we don't save that much after all, but if there is not a request structure anywhere to be found, then all of a sudden this stuff kind of dominates the image as well. Well, dominates is a bit of a strong word, but it seems to make, it's visible here. Everywhere. Like that, I guess. Okay, so that's now the default case. Oh no, wait. Yeah, the default, this case here, wait, what's the default case? Oh, whoa. I think I just found... Did I find anything? Well, that's one arm here. And no, that's okay, but what happens in the other cases? Oh. I have to be careful about this because this I might not be able... Yeah, so this is something I might just not be able to deduplicate here, because that's really a list of all the possible values. But right now I have trouble understanding what I see. So that's the p flag, that's the parameters. And here it seems I just have the public ones and no custom parameters. Yeah. But what's this? This is the request structure here, okay. But what happens, I think here, let's not look at this big one. What happens if I have some method parameters and the request ones, because I think here is the bug. Because I'm not building this list from all the possible ones, which could be preferred a name. Yep. So yeah, so that's also a bug that I will fix in the process, I think. Cool, let's do that. So just to prove it, if I am making discovery CLI cargo, args is run, and specifically I want to run, I want to run APIs list, then -p preferred. Preferred is bar, right? So that doesn't even work. Oops. I think this has to build as well, so we might... Oh, that's the wrong one. That would have been bad. Discovery 1 CLI, that's the one I wanted. Ah, no. I think that's just totally out of date. Why is everything always out of date here, man? Oh, because I reset it. Yeah, I guess I have to do an update run. Would do me no harm. Make cargo CLI args is update. Let's do an update run, please. Is it CLI-cargo? I think it's CLI-cargo. Just in the back. Ah, I'm in clap RS. That explains a lot. Let's try that cargo CLI again. All right. And keep going, please. Just keep going. Just do as much as you can do. Thank you very much. And I guess you want to do it also for the other guys. Oh no, actually just for the CLI. Okay, now you can. Good. And now it should build finally, and I should be able to... Okay, I have to wait a little bit to see that. But I should now see that it should tell me preferred does not show up in the list. It can't autocomplete because that's not part of that list here. Okay, so let's have a look at that first. Should be easy enough. That is engine. Here we have error issues. Push. What is it? Unknown parameter. Actually, I should look for that. Unknown parameter. Interesting. Did I... Oh yeah, typo. Of course. My error rate nowadays is really, really high. It's bad, kind of. Anyway, unknown parameter. Yeah, I'm kind of offset, not standing parameter. Yeah, I'm just practicing. I have trouble with certain combinations, apparently. Unknown parameter. Good. I think it's also the speaking in parallel to talking that just made everything worse when it comes to typing precision. But it's just a matter of practice, you know? Practice, so I will keep practicing. Good, so here we are, just one spot, nothing to miss. Field vec global parameter names plus, where are the non-global ones? They are. Hard to see. Optional props. And I always have them. Cool. So all I have to do is say plus optional props. And now we should be fine here. Prefer is unknown. So now it will tell me, oh wait, optional props, what is it? Is it not what I think it is? Is it an iterator or something? Oops, no. No. Here we go. No, it's a list. So this means that the global parameters, they're not what I think it is. Expected string or buffer. Okay, the optional props, they wanna... Okay, sorry. So I think what they contain is not what I think it is. For PN and global parameter names. So that contains just strings, right? Yes, I think so. And the optional props contain properties. So you want to do something like p name for p in optional props. Okay. I mean, the line break probably screwed with me a lot here, but still, this could work. p.name for p in, and of course this. Now we are good. And we compiled, and now we have preferred here as well. Okay, that's one fix. That's already worth a commit here. Ah, this is how I got all the... Yeah, because I have to run update. I think I shouldn't reset this anymore, even though it's annoying to see all these changed files. It doesn't help me after all. Kind of kicks me back every time. Can't do it. So, fix CLI. Completed list of parameter names. Previously, the did you mean functionality only knew the global parameters, but not the method local ones. All right, I don't know if there's a better way than to just kind of push them there as a quick built-in array. The only thing we could save here is the list of these global ones that we could store on an instance level. So we could basically just combine two vectors into one at runtime and stuff it in there. This would save us some parsing, at least, maybe reduce the binary size depending on how good Rust is, but I would expect it to be able to intern all these literal strings no matter what. So it doesn't really matter, actually. I don't think it matters. My guess. Good, so that's a fix. Now we should see, did you mean preferred? Yes, I did. Cool. So that is the one thing. Now the second part of the deal shall be to get rid of this, instead use kind of a built-in list of parameters. So this means we must make it a part of self. And the cool thing is we can probably just build it using the fieldVec function that we have already, and then stuff it into our actual engine instance, which should have a vector of static strings. Yeah, so these are definitely static because they're string literals. That's awesome. Here we go. gpar. I want to keep it short, kind of, because that will make my file size considerably bigger, because that is probably referenced a lot. Well, maybe not, but I don't want to spell it out. I want to keep it short. That's the thing. GPA, global params, let's call it GP, is a vec of static, damn it, don't be smart here, static strings like this. All right. Cool. So now when I set this guy up, I think there's just one space, a place where I do this. I shall also provide him with information about the global parameters. That will be a field vac of the respective field names. Thank you very much. Cool. So that should just build and compile now. Undefined is not iterable. Oh, global parameter names. Yeah, we don't have it everywhere. Where do I get them from? Oh, look. It's actually per method. Oh, man. The parameters... No, wait, it's not. No. Oh, but it's checked against... Yeah, but we can still do it. If it's not an optional prop names. So what's the optional prop names? Sorry, here we go. So that's just the optional method props, I see. So I guess what we want to do is we want to pass along information about the optional property names to whatever handler we do here. And then do an additional check that checks, okay, if this is contained in the optional property names, we don't handle it. Which also means we want to fall through. No, actually, this means that the default case will then be this handler of ours, because then we have to kind of iterate our list, be sure we don't have we don't include the per method optional property names, which might also be another big list again that we need, which also means that if we need these two lists, we can as well keep them. I mean, we can keep the one list we need here or somewhere, not per arc, but here, and then just pass it on and then combine it here so that we have overall less string stuff going on here that is outside of a match. Yeah, let's do this. I think it's kind of a solution. So let's start step by step and try not to break so much at once, both in the generated and in the generator code. Okay, so the global parameter list for now will just be so we take the sorted keys here, make a list out of it, and that's just that. Do we have some code here? Not yet. I think considering that, I can also put it here. It doesn't need to be a set anymore. I don't know why it wants to be a set. Considering that it's a list later. Yeah, well. Forget it then, huh? Let me make it a list. So if parameters is not undefined, take this. In any case, make it a lists. And that is that. Thank you. Have to fix up that one. Cool. So I guess here we are good. So now we have global parameters and we have them ready here. But it's an unspecialized list that obviously doesn't work for us because we have the special case code that we also want to handle. So these optional parameter names, it's actually, a good list of names. There's nothing else we have to do about it. So we can kick this out. Do we? Yeah, so that was already removed. Now we can remove this. Good. Optional prop names we will come back to later. So again, this should still work just fine now. It should generate. It's just affected the generator code, and it should also build, because now we have just an additional member here. Name parameter is not defined. Sure. There was this rule that this thing doesn't work. So you can't have everything, right? This was the problem. Because this one can't access the global state. If you do it like this, I think it couldn't handle something else or something. Yeah, something was wrong then, but maybe it works. Undefined object is not callable. This is in 28. That's exactly. Yeah, so if you don't do it like that, yeah, I don't know. Why is it suddenly uncallable? What's your problem, man? Yeah, so there was I forgot actually. There was this one special thing that you had to remember. Maybe they can't access these variables anymore. But which one is he trying to access? The C maybe? The context? I don't know. Yeah, maybe I just have 2. Good, let's have 2. Let's take this out of here. Oops. Let's give him that. And then we have another one, which is a normal block. And now we can put stuff here as well, which should merge with the other things. Okay, but we are elsewhere now. Undefined, cool. Undefined is not iterable. Huh. Method call impl. Global parameter names. It can't, apparently it cannot access these guys. So he cannot access global values because we are, because we are used as namespace, and these behave differently. I want to have this in multiple places. I could have a function that creates this for me. That would work. And let's print them, because that should work, should print something. Oh, no. Not really. Does it mean it's not being executed? Maybe it's not being executed then. Damn it. Oh, that's annoying. And maybe I'd rather have a function then that generates this. Def global parameter, again global parameter names, and it takes the parameters as they are, and if parameters is like that, you return this. Otherwise, why does it look like that? Is not undefined anyway. Otherwise, you return an empty list. Thank you. So now I shall get my global parameter names where I need them. Global parameter names. First I need them here. And I shall just say, well, what about this? Can you give them to me? Parameters. Thanks. That is easy, huh? And now we need them here, but that's the only spot. That's the main spot that we have to adjust anyway. Okay. Here we go. And we have lots of code sections here where we can smash this thing in. Ideally, where it only runs once. I think that could be the place. of the places. And we always have to remind ourselves that this global parameter name stuff is now really what it is. It's static. We don't want to change it. I have access to this, right? I hope so. Yeah, you don't want to change it because all the stuff has to happen at runtime now. We shift stuff from generation time at runtime to reduce the amount of kind of code we need, reduce complexity. And I don't know if it's really that useful, if it saves us something, but yeah, let's get this to work. First, syntax error. Which one? What's the problem? Let's try to get rid of this. Does it change? Nope, not that one. This. Good. That's also not it. So here, this also looks good to me. Oh man. Yeah, so let's figure out where this is happening and dive in. That's a parsing error in engine Marco line 2. Oh really? I mean, the only change that I made here, as you know, it's not too much that I changed. Absolutely not. So what? Oh, come on, I'm getting a bit, I'm getting hungry a bit. This kind of changes my attitude to this, so I don't really want to deal with that. That should kind of go relatively quickly here. And I don't see why it shouldn't be done quickly, because there's really no big deal here. Some refactoring. Yeah, so that's not the problem. Let's just return a list here. Oh, damn it, you. Good, so that's compile time now. That's awesome. And that's just me. Oh, yeah, I see. Funny. This always hits hard. So that's where Marco isn't optimal, because it's kind of HTML style, which we happen to hit here. I think a backslash should do it. Well, somewhere you could escape it. You could escape it. But you can also say, screw you. I'm going to give you a string literal here in Python, just to work around that thing and be happy. Good, so that should compile. We are there where we want it to be. And now we can actually take a look at the stuff that is allowed to be a bit harder. Oh yeah, right. This list here is also something we have to generate. Let's see where we do it. That map. And that is also part of our kind of new static list of stuff. It's just going to be another vector. And yeah, it's going to be a complete list, even though we will kind of ignore at runtime certain fields, which might include the ones that we list here. We will still kind of go through all of them. It doesn't matter. So this map we can now generate as a vector, fortunately. So all we need is this. That's the magic line. So after all, we might use less code to get this done. Because we go to hub, here we have GPM, the map. Oh. No, I guess I will need the other code as well. That's sad. Because we have tuples in here, not anything else. Well, then I think it's just that code. Fine. And I wrap it into a vec Oh no. No, wait, stop. I'm getting ahead of myself. So the hub part, what is this? It's a vector of tuples, and this might even work like this. A vector of tuples of static string and static. Don't you dare escaping anything here. And this is my type. And that should just work, and then I can go to GP and set it up here, and that's where the additional code comes in. GPM, and we go with vec, and then it's this basically. And the global parameter names under these circumstances, I guess I want to cache them. Let's just have a little space here. Just, it's less code after all, I think. And less code is good. GPM, let's call it GPM. It's a local thing. And I think shortening this considerably will not harm in this case. Maybe I can even go for that. Yeah, I like this. And then we have to put it like that. Otherwise, white space issues might occur. Yeah, they might. So, they will. This is that. I think this is how that works. Then you put all the tuples in here. This is what we do in our loop. And we are done. And the global parameter names, GPM, shall be GPM. Good. And if you look here, we shall see this magically change to what we want. And it compiles and works basically. That's awesome. Well, about the compilation, I don't know yet. I can at least say that so far it generated well and it looks the way I think it should look. So the cool thing is I think we will definitely save a lot of kind of duplicated stuff here, which is good. So yeah, the next step could be that we take this code out. If you find it, I didn't take it out yet. Oh yeah, we can't find it because I'm looking for too much here. So the map is gone, is now self GPM. And we can just, where's the map? Self GPM, either find, that's cool, like this one inline thing, I like it. I like iterators in general, it's super useful. Because this stuff would usually be loops en masse. Yeah, so that is that. That will just work now. Gone. And the next thing is that we want to change the way we handle issues in general. So this part here, we always have global parameter names and they might be empty. And that's what we have here. So I think what we want to do is start creating a per method list of optional names that we might want to know. Basically these ones. You know, we need a vector of these names right here. Values off. So it's somewhere here. Let's stare at the code to understand it here. If handle props. Here we go. And this is a read-only list of PN, the prop names. Let's keep it very short. Which I think the type will be inferred. So the prop names shall be, and now we use the vec function that we have here. Oh, sorry. Vec, field vec. Yep, this one. Is there anything? No, it's really just Mangle subcommands of fields. Awesome. So yeah, that's a field vec of our optional names. And we know that our optional prop names, you know, just a set of prop names. We don't care about ordering or anything. It's also per method. So yeah, we don't care about stuff here. Just stuff it in. Boom. There we go. Let's also see where we use these. If we use these, if we end up using them just once, no, we don't qualify to stay as it is. Less change for me. I'm happy about that. And you know, it's okay. It's valid to keep it. Good. So here we have a PN now. That should show up any second. There we go. And that's kind of what we have to work with as well. And for the first part, I want to set this up at runtime. So we have a combination of all these fields. And now all I have to do is create a new vector by combining two others. And you would say, okay, vec A plus vec B is new vector. But let's see how it's done in the Rust world, because I must admit, I extended an existing vector, but I've never I don't think they have add, because that's that's misleading. You know, they probably don't want that, because people would use add like it costs nothing, but it actually costs a lot. No. Index, borrow, send. No. There is an extend that I would want to look at. Or no, wait, but what's the extend? Does it take? It takes an iterator, but push all might also be able to take a slice. Yeah, I think we go with the likely to be replaced by more optimized extend. Okay, so we use extend. If extend is stable, we use extend, because it's kind of a duplication. I like that they start to, well, give a little bit more information. Because usually I use unstable, but if they say, well, it's likely to be replaced, then I'm happily using extend, which will be the same syntax for me, and I don't really care about the performance in this case. It's also a trait. So it's probably preferred anyway. Nice. Cool. So what does it return, by the way? Is this returning anything? Oh, shit. It's returning nothing. Or we can do this. We are in Rust. We can do this in the same line. Maybe I give it a line break, but probably not. Okay, so self GP, that's the global parameters. It's a vector. We want to have a new vector that is extended. So this thing goes away entirely. It's totally runtime now. So self GP is part of the deal. Then we always have a list of parameters here, which will be PN, which is part of the deal. And I guess what we are going to do is have a scope here that says let mat v be a vec new. Type inference will do the deal for the rest for us. Then we say v extend this guy. V extend this guy. Hard to see because we don't care about line breaks here really. I mean, yeah, I can't. This would be relevant. I could kind of make it work, but I just say fuck it. Let's let the word wrap decide how this looks like. And then at the end of this, return the V. So this is how we initialize the V, kind of in the same spot without needing to get outside of that scope, which is totally awesome. That's how you do it. So yeah, that's how you. That's a not so fancy add if you think about it. But this is how we get the same result. And that should already work. That's the cool thing. And then we are closing in on the kill. We're closing in, and the cool thing is we closed in without losing functionality. Oops. So the vec has trouble, probably because there is an empty one. Huh? Can it be empty? Oh yeah. But, all right. Good. So I shall not rely on type inference here. I might just go for the full thing. Vec of static. Oh man, I know what's happening. Static string. Yeah, well, here you go. I don't want to. I could make it conditionally like that. Maybe I should. That would be kind of like that. Bada boom. Right here. So we have this and that, or just nothing. So that should probably be, that's okay. Let's not be too lazy. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, sorry. Or let's make it like this. And not optional prop. I don't know. No. So we don't have optional prop names and do this or that. So this is it. Kinda. Yeah, syntax highlighting looks a bit funny here for some reason. Okay, so now we go on to the next topic. No, I was thinking possibly something is wrong here, but it shouldn't be. Wrong number of arguments. Expected 1, found 0. Oh, true. It's not actually initialized. My bad. Kind of correct syntax, but totally wrong anyway. So yeah, there you go. All right. That is interesting. Expected a static string, found a borrowed string. Oh, because of the iterator stuff. Excuse me, you should take the same values. Read only. Do I have to map this? Do I have to deref it? Because by default, it will iterate. Yeah, it will iterate on borrows of my borrowed slices, which is kind of too much. So I might have to deref it, but I wonder if there is a better way, because that seems to be kind of standard. Probably there is a better way. Maybe there is an as ref or something, but I don't know how to use that properly. Or as owned or something. Skip's gonna take, inspect, collect by ref. But I read this today and I didn't understand it. Let's just use it once and see what happens. A cloned reference. We could use clone, maybe then it will not be a reference anymore. And yeah, so we try this. We try by ref and then cloned, because it shouldn't make a difference. You know, clone of a static type is still a clone. Yeah, so that gives us an into iterator, but now we probably want to control this better and say, okay, we go by ref. That's the first test. Oh, and then we have to go iter, and this thing goes longer and longer. Oops. This will definitely not work, but we will see. Okay, so that actually kept our... That's good. No, no. I don't think it's good. It's still, the first one who extends, who pushes, does this, and it's still the same thing. Okay, so that didn't work. Let's use clone then. Maybe that works. Where's the... that's cool. So now we have set it to a string. I'm not sure if it really cloned it into a str. It can't be. It's kind of a slice type. This doesn't even work. Yeah, so let's try to make them more uniform here. And maybe it works then. First, I just make them uniform by removing. Well, why would I? Let's just do it. Either cloned. So in theory, they have the same type now. Not in theory. In theory, the type is correct. Yes. And a clone of a borrow is just fine. That doesn't cost anything. Right? Yeah. So you can clone a read-only or a shared borrow, and it will just create a new borrow to the same thing. Awesome. And this totally works. If it wouldn't work, it wouldn't have given us the right thing here. Let's also use pretty print, which will be converted to pretty camel case print. Pretty print is bar. That should work, and it does. That's good. But we actually don't know if the conversion works. It could... Well, actually we do know because it sets it, and if it doesn't know it, it will tell us. So if we use something else, it will... Yeah, so this actually worked. Cool. And if you use pretty print, it will tell us, oh, did you mean pretty print? Yeah, awesome. So that does work. Awesome. So we just simplified it even more and moved more to runtime, which is something that I actually like considering the slow compile times and probably the larger binary, and we want to have small, slim binaries that compile, let's say, as fast as possible. So can I give it new lines here? I think I can give it new lines because these don't matter. They just improve readability. I don't have to cram everything onto one line. No need for that. Here we go. We start here, then go here, here, and return V. And that's kind of how that looks like. Boom. Well, if we do it like that, we can do it right. We have all the space in the world here. Always looks kind of shitty. Oh, doesn't get better. Yeah, more like that, I guess. Still not great. We could try to move the entire thing further to the right to indicate, yeah, this is actually, this belongs here. Does it get a line break or does it work? Oh, we are still compiling. Oh, like the worst line break ever. Okay, let's put this here and this down. And that way we can kind of show where this belongs without going too far to the right. All right, nearly there. I don't have to do this, but I can. It doesn't cost anything really. Okay, now we are good. And that's allowing you to at least understand how that code works more easily, let's say. And that's a good thing. All right. So now the hard part, because now if we have global parameters, which we always have, we now must assume that we have these guys. Then we are good, because then we can also always say the default case will be handling the global parameters and well, maybe it's not a problem. No, maybe that's always kind of our last thing. No, actually, that's all good. Not a problem. Not a problem. So let's move this stuff. Let's move. I'm getting hungry, really. Let's move this code here, down here. Boom. Oh. Boom. Sorry. Actually, like this. Skip all that selection that I made there. And here, so that closes the brace. So that's the last one. And I'm not sure about the return value of that thing. Apparently, whatever that push returned was the return value of the match, but it didn't matter anyway. Up or down here. Yeah, so the return value is unit all the time. Okay, good. So we just keep it like that. If it's unit, I really prefer to not use comma, because that makes me think what the call returns, because that's relevant. Then I don't want to think about that. I don't want to know what push returns, actually. Good. So that is just, just looks different now. And the cool thing is that, in a way, all this stuff is already here. We just have to see if it's part of the deal and have to ignore, we have G, we have to ignore all the PNs here. Do we have to explicitly ignore them? Actually, we don't have to do that anymore, man. That's cool. That's really cool. I like that. Yeah, I was kind of stupidly copying this, but considering that... No, wait, why did I do that with the PNs? Because I was afraid of duplicate... Sure, I couldn't have duplicate cases. This is why I did that. So yes... actually, this vector here can be in place now. That's awesome. And if you ask yourself if you'd put it in place because we can, then the answer is totally. Because this will get rid of all that stuff. No, wait, it doesn't. Oh, wait, it does. Because thanks to type inference, and because he's the second guy, he knows what kind of type it needs. That's the plan. So this thing can be empty. We can also, if necessary, just skip it entirely if it is empty. But we will try not to. Cool. Simplification. Awesome. Appreciated. PN is just used here. So here we go with an inline guy. Like this. This should work in both cases. If it doesn't, we will see it right away. So here it should work. Up here, type inference should kick in for us and make it work, even though it's empty. That's my guess. Cool. And then I don't have to think about too much anymore, because we already do the remapping here with our global list. All we have to do is iterate all the global names here and see if we want to set them, right? But what? No, wait. What about alt? There was a special handling for alt, I thought. For alt media stuff. So... No, but it was never... No, it was never part of the global thing. No. That's good. So what happens is, if this is part of our globals list, we will set it. Yeah. Oh yeah, alt can be overwritten that way. But the point is that we allow it anyway. And we allow it to be overwritten. I think what happens is that the API checks for this. The API is the last resort here, and we don't know this stuff yet. We might know at some point, but we don't know it yet. We just say, well, it's good that the API will tell us to abort the call. So that kind of delays the abortion a bit, but it's okay, I think. Cool, so that totally works. Yeah, so well, let's do it, and then we are done. And I can get food. It's a lot, that's very much appreciated. Any kind of improvements that might be left, I can do later. It's starting to rain as well, but this is not going to hold me back anymore. Looking forward. Yeah, where is it? So here we do that stuff. And here we go. And actually we can kind of write it plain text. And it's just going to be a single thing, a single call that we expect here. And so letmat found is false. For for param in self global params. It's a vector, it has into iterator, so that will work. Maybe I have to make it a borrow, but let's try that. Oh no, wait, I think I will have to make it a borrow. Let's just make it a borrow. So here we go, and if... Oh yeah, now we have to actually map it here. Wait. And if, where's the name, by the way? Do we have access to key? Yeah, key is the name, and it should match the one... Oh. Are these mangled, these global parameter names that we have? I think they are, huh? Let's have a look. They totally are. Cool. So we can just compare them directly, and then the handling, the mapping will be done here as before. There's no change. If key equals param, then we say, well, set it already. Here we set the key, which could be remapped, and we set it to the unwrapped value. We set found is true, and we totally break because this is just a single one that we can possibly find here. If not found, then we go with the error handling, because this means it's total nonsense. Awesome. So that should still yield the same result, but we have to get rid of these extra cases here first. Handle global parameters, and if... Oh, and look, the track download track. Oh. And yeah, so here it starts. And we have to handle this. So we have to do some download flag handling. Which comes as an... Okay, so this comes as an if before. And this is also at generation time. So the global parameter names, do I have them here actually in a suitable form? I do. I will just keep it like that, no. This will be generation time still. So if you need a special case, then we will just drop this down. Oh, the download mode. But this is an external variable, right, that I can just set somewhere. This is coming from elsewhere. So yeah, this means we have a match. Value on air. So this goes here. We have a match. And then we might just add some more handling here. And if this guy says it's alt and alt is media, then we want to set the download mode. Boom. Like this. And this is something I have to try. But I think we'll do that tomorrow because I'm too hungry to, or later today. But I want to have food. It's late enough. And yeah, I think that's really the handling. So now I feel much better about myself because now this alt mode is handled correctly. So wait, this is actually one further to the left here. Okay. So that is that. This will only show up in a few cases. Possibly in Drive. Cool. Anything else? No, looks good. Looks good. Oh, sure. Why doesn't the break work? Oh, because there is a semicolon. Okay, and we should get rid of all this global parameters. If params is not undefined, parameters, go away. And all that's left is this beauty. It didn't work. Local variable, oh, sorry. This was actually, where was that coming in? Value unwrap. I've seen it. Excuse me? Oh, it was part of that guy here. Yeah, I will just put this here. And then I delete you. Oh, now it's raining, like for real. But this should basically mean that maybe the restaurant's a bit emptier and I will have faster service. See it like that. Or I don't go that. Yeah, I will see how far I go. I'm just thinking about food right now, not about code anymore. I guess I should just be happy with what I have, review it tomorrow, test it tomorrow, which sounds like a fine deal with me. It's always good to make deals with yourself. You're such an easy business partner. Oh, it's not implement for the type string. What? But key is a string slice. This kind of means that why is this all of a sudden an str? Or does it wanna dereference them? Maybe it wants to. But here I do it as well. Or maybe this is an iterator over, so maybe that, huh? Maybe. Come on, you can do it. Seems it does it. Seems very much like it does it. Oh, awesome. It's actually raining, but I have to close the window. Because it's actually raining in. These windows are so high that even if you open them just a tiny little bit, it will rain onto the window board at least. And as there's lots of pollen from today, you know, water plus pollen means slimy stuff. Delicious. So we are done. That's the refactoring. That's the code. So just to feel better about myself, I'll rebuild DFA reporting. Just this one. And see if that works. Maybe we get this upload code as well. Then I will rebuild Drive. Drive 2 CLI. And let's see. I think we had like 30,000 lines before. And we still have 30,000. Well, it didn't change too much. Just a few hundred lines at maximum, but yeah. Now everything is at runtime, man, and less repetition. I think overall it's a good thing. Did it actually do it? It did. Oh. No. Drive to CLI main. Let's have a look at this one. Ah, there are a few changes here. Maybe it kind of is plus minus 0 at the end because of this. Yeah, I think because of this, which is kind of a lot as well. But the match case is simpler now. We have more code, and I can't put this piece of the code into a function, unfortunately, just because... Wow, I call that rain. I can't put it into a function because this call is very specific and doesn't have a trait. So that doesn't work with generics either. And I don't want to give it a trait just for that. Maybe one day I will, but not tonight. Certainly not tonight. No, 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 no. Yeah, but that looks like it. Let me see if I find this equals media. Okay, so here we have it. Yep. Cool, that is that. And then we make the call. Set it to found. We didn't find it. We say listen. Didn't work. Let's be sure. Let's try it. Foo-bar buzz. Foo-bar buzz is unknown. See, that's the one. We might also compare it against pretty pr. Did you mean pretty print? Oh, hell yeah, I did. How did you know? Who told you? Why are you so smart? Is there an intelligent life form in that command line interface? Well, now that you ask. I've been using your computer for quite a while. Good to be in a dialogue, finally. Thanks. Cool. I think we are done. Let's make a commit. Still need to do some testing here, but I guess I will just kick in the build process, the update and build process for everything, and hope it still works. Yeah, nice, nice, nice. Refactor, that is definitely CLI. Move global params to runtime. Handling. Difficult. Yeah. Global params were repeated per let's think. Repeated per method, even though they were global per API. Now they are kept in vectors and used at runtime accordingly. We save a little bit of code, have simpler matches and less repetition. It's unclear if this reduces the size of the binary though, or the compile times as the extra loop. Is an extra loop after all. Is an extra loop after all. Yeah, I think overall it could be a bit better. But we have extra code for the runtime stuff here, and that really just caused. Previously it was just bang, an array. But maybe setting up vectors like this at runtime all the time also is a lot of code, because that vec thing will mean lots of pushes here. And you know, what can I do? It's like that, but you know, these are per method. That needs to be here somewhere. That is like it is. But yeah. Okay, good. But that still need to test the download mode using drive 1. This is why I just say related to 93, huh? No. 90, 90, 97. No. No, come on. Let's give me a Sublime text. Awesome. Not yet done. Oh, let's push it. And I think because the tests don't work anyway, let's save some energy. Skip CI. Let's push it. In the meanwhile, let's go there. And do I have one open still? No, not necessary either. Dev Rust, there we go. Like this. Is it pushed already? Yes, it is. I think I fetched already. Git fetch. Git reset. Hard. Origin. Master. And now I think I should have the right make guys here already that make update and then build as fast as they can. Good. Then I can tomorrow just look at this and see what they think about the situation, and possibly find like little hidden errors that I wouldn't have found otherwise. It's about time, and that's the clear slate I need to do a new feature, and I will have it tomorrow. So thanks for watching and have a good day.